Hey everyone, so we are back with another live. My apologies, I had to redo it. Something went wrong with the computer, so I had to redo the whole system. So we're back with another one, start sit for a wide receiver. Before we get started, like, comment, subscribe, and on top of that, I'm going to clarify what we'll be doing for each and every week. So, like I told you yesterday, about how I was thinking about doing videos of just regular YouTube videos. That would have been just too much because of the amount of time I have to put in for these videos. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do live 2 times a day, morning and evening, maybe afternoon if I'm busy during the evening, and we'll do quarterbacks, one live video, running backs, another live video, wide receivers, tight end, and then we might do defense and kicker, but I feel like that's not a big deal. Maybe I'll just add in the kicker and defense, the other 2 days. So we'll do a regular start and sit for Wednesday. Then Thursday morning we'll do the quarterbacks, and I'll give you guys the Thursday night football, who should start and sit for all positions for that game. And then Thursday evening, we'll do running back. Then Friday morning, we'll do wide receivers. And then Friday evening, we'll do tight ends. And then, like I said, we might flip in defense and kicker in between those 2 days. We're going to do weekends, but like Saturday or Sunday morning, but that would just been a little bit too much. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing from now on. Later on, if I'm making a lot more money on this channel, and even my other channel, I'll definitely make a totally different, regular basic video for this because I'll have the editor by the time when that day comes. But right now, we're just going to be doing live, start and sit for each position. And yeah, let's do wide receiver. You haven't checked out running back, go check it out. We already posted that like literally 20 minutes ago. And yeah, so we got. Oh, before we get to the game though, yesterday's game, wide receivers and running back. Totally forgot to talk about that in the last video for running back wise, but we'll just go over it now. Running backs for the Cardinals, Trey Benson didn't do the greatest, but he did give you some okay amount of fantasy points for his first game as a starting running back for the Cardinals because versus a really good defense for the Seahawks. As for Seattle's running backs, it was just like Walker and the other guy. It was very. I don't like that. I don't like that they shared a lot of snaps. I'd rather choose Benson over those guys because Benson has more snaps in him than the Seattle's running back room. Because they're very like 1 minute the running backs in Seattle can do better than the other. I don't like that. I try to avoid that. A lot of times when I do fantasy football draft, I avoid a split committee due to a running back because I do not like the fact I gotta worry. Am I gonna get a lot of points in this running back this week? Nah. But if you're the Lions, if Jameer Gibbs, you're set. You put a lot of points. But let's get into it now. Wide receivers. Yesterday, wide receiver. Uh, Seattle didn't have the greatest. Cup did bad. The other guys did bad. Certain wide receiver people didn't even pick up. Did really good for Seattle. After the Cardinals, Harrison did better towards the end of the game. The only one that did well for catching is McBride, if I'm correct on that. I think I'm wrong on that. Tight end for the Cardinals. He did amazing. Saw how he did. But that's tight end. That's a totally different day we're going to do for tight end. But yeah, let's go to the first game. Vikings versus Steelers. Wide receivers. Justin Jefferson, Carson Wentz. I would say versus a Steelers defense. Yeah, last week Justin Jefferson did really, really good. I know one game can't define how well a player does the next game. Personally, a pretty good defense in the Steelers. I want to say start Justin Jefferson. Yes, last week was like, oh my god, what? We did horrible the first 3 weeks, but 2 weeks, my bad. But I feel like Carson Wentz is a veteran. He knows his stuff. I think Justin Jefferson will give you a lot of fantasy points. As for the Steelers wide receivers, DK Metcalf, he's not going to give you a whole lot. Versus a Vikings defense is pretty good. I would sit DK if I have to, but like I always say, if he's the only good player, just start him anyway. As for the other wide receiver for the Steelers, uh, I wouldn't. I would sit them. I would sit them. But yeah, I think by doing some of these start and sits is a little bit risky. So you know they're good, but they can all of a sudden turn out like, whoa, what game is this? You turn into prime Jerry Rice over here. But it happens. It happens in the NFL. It's not like the NBA. NBA, you know what's up. Which we'll be doing fantasy basketball when that comes. I have a totally different league for that with me and my boys. We'll do a live draft for that. And I'll give you my start and sit. That could be much different, which we'll go into it later on down the road. So Washington Commanders, wide receivers, Terry McLaurin might be out. If he is, start Debo Samuel. As for the other Commanders wide receivers, I would try to avoid them. I don't trust them because you always see the quarterback go for Debo or Terry McLaurin. Don't really see them go after the other wide receivers. But if Jaden Daniels does play, definitely lock everyone in. Marcus Mariota, yeah, lock him in too. As for the Falcons wide receivers, man. They haven't been doing the greatest the last 3 weeks. Uh, I would sit. I just can't have a trust in Penix Jr. right now. He just seems very nervous. 1 minute he's good, 1 minute he's bad. I would sit the Falcons wide receivers, especially Drake London. He hasn't had the best games yet. Uh, Man, I feel bad for Drake London. He's a very talented wide receiver, but for some reason, the quarterbacks he had is just bad. As for the Chargers and Giants game, start every Chargers wide receiver easily. It's all been amazing for Justin Herbert. Everyone thought the Chargers were going to be somewhat bad again, but they've been amazing with Keenan Allen, Johnson, some other good wide receivers on that team. Start wide receivers for the Chargers, all of them. As for the Giants, first a Chargers defense that's pretty good. I would say only start Malik Neighbors. I mean, he's the only guy you should definitely start always, no matter what. Yeah. As for the Titans and Texans game, I would say start Nico Collins. I feel like the Titans defense is not the greatest. I feel like Nico's gonna get the ball much more. As for Kirk, I feel like start Kirk. I feel like he'll do something. If you have to, flex him. Don't be wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, but flex Kirk. I know a second game back or third game back, not even. So he's still trying to have chemistry with CJ Stroud. So look for Kirk to do a little bit of something on the offense. As for the Titans wide receiver, Calvin Ridley, I guess you could start him. I would say he's the only one to start. Maybe the other wide receivers, if you want. The Texans defense is not scary, but Titans offense is very interesting and weird. Like I know everyone's young and experienced. They're trying to learn, and the head coach is not the greatest. But come on, you're an NFL team. I've always rooted for the Titans, even back in the day with Chris Johnson, with when they had Asian players like Andre Johnson and Hopkins, and like even when they had Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, they just I don't know what's wrong with the organization, not the players. It's just the GM, the owner. Uh, they do tend to have some good head coaches here and there, but I feel bad, man. I always root for them. As for the Eagles, I'm not a Titans fan, by the way. I'm a Jets fan. As for the Eagles and Buccaneers, uh, I would say Mike Evans is going to be out. Chris Godwin might be playing, but he may not get a lot of the snaps. But it sounds like he may because he's ramping up pretty fast. I would say flex Godwin If you have someone better than Godwin, start him over Godwin, because if you start Godwin, he does not do well. He doesn't play a lot of snaps. You're going to waste that fantasy point. So sit Godwin if you have to. But start the rookie for sure. The rookie going to get a lot of snaps. I forgot his name, but you know who he is. He's been doing really well lately, so definitely start him. The Shepherd. I would say flex Shepherd. He'll definitely get a good amount of snaps this week because they need wide receivers. So Shepard, the rookie, is going to get a lot. So I would say flex both of them, but do not automatically start them because the Eagles' defense is good when it comes to the air. As for the Eagles side, the wide receivers, I would say A.J. Brown, Smith. Oh my gosh. I would say start A.J. Man. A.J. Brown Smith had very up and down games this year. Very strange. I would say start them, I guess. I can't tell you say no because that looks silly on my end. On top of that, the Buccaneers defense is good, but I would just say start them. Start them. If you have to flex them, but start them. I mean, you're gonna have to. Who Jalen Hurts gonna throw it to? But just know they might not have the best games because they had 1 or 2 good games already. So I would just, you know, don't think they're going to go off, but just know they're not going to give you a lot of fantasy points this week versus a Bucs defense that knows how to play defense. Now, Panthers and Patriots. Panthers wide receivers. Sit them. They're just not that good. Flex them if that's the case. I think the rookie's the only one you really want to start. But everyone else, trash in the Panthers wide receiver position. As for the Patriots, start them. Bourne, if I'm correct on that. Another wide receiver, start them. Patriots both do something good on offense for sure. Panthers defense is not scary. Yes, last week they did pretty good, but that's just one game. I don't trust them to be this good versus a New England Patriots offense. As for the Saints and Bills wide receivers, uh, would not start any Saints wide receivers whatsoever. Not even Chris Olave. I'm sorry. Bills defense really good when it comes to the air. One of the top 5 defense in the league for sure. Don't start any wide receivers for the Saints. As for the Bills wide receivers, Coleman definitely start. Yeah, I would start every wide receiver for the Bills. Saints are bad on defense when it comes to the air. Now Browns versus Lions. This one can be a little bit tricky on the Brown side. Tillman, Judy, I guess start. I feel like they have a lot of confidence. Joe Flacco's a veteran. Definitely gives them the ball. Just know they're not going to get a lot of fantasy points, as you would think, because the Lions defense is pretty good. Yes, the secondary is a little bit weak, but I feel like the Lions defense is going to step up in that position. So don't look for Judy and Tillman to go off like they did a couple of weeks ago, but just know they're going to give you some decent fantasy points, so definitely start them. As for the Lions wide receivers, start them. William, Amon St. Brown, is his name right? Start them always. As for the Jaguars and 49ers, uh, don't start the Jaguars wide receivers. They're going to be more like a flex play because they just have to give a lot of people a lot of fantasy points lately. I've seen it. And the first game, really good 49ers defense would try to avoid the Jaguars wide receivers. 49ers, start them. Jaguars defense, not the greatest. Start them. Even though no Debo Samuel anymore. No Brandon Ayuk right now. Uh, Start him. As for Colts and Rams, okay. Wow. I would say start both of them. Start both teams. I feel it's going to be a little bit of a high scoring game in this one. Yes, both defenses pretty good, but I just see something happening in this game that wide receivers are going to be involved much more than usual. But definitely start both of them. Very equal matchup of the defense. They're good, but they're not amazing to the point that they're gonna like stop the other team's wide receivers. So definitely do that. Bears versus Raiders. Oh, don't start DJ Moore. He's been horrendous lately. Start the other guy. Forgot his name. He was with Pittsburgh last year, the year before. As for the Raiders wide receivers, I know you guys want me to say the other wide receiver, not Myers, the other one that went off last week. He had like 52 fantasy points or something. It was crazy. Uh, Flex, the second wide receiver, start Myers. Bears defense is good, but not to the point they're going to do amazing. As for the Ravens, by the way, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know what it is. Fantasy start and sit live stream every week going forward. Now, as for the Ravens and Chiefs, would start Flowers for sure. Hopkins automatically due to flex play for Hopkins. Do not start him though, but flex play him. As for the Chiefs, man, I'll flex the wide receivers. I wouldn't really start. Ravens defense is good. Yes, last week wasn't the greatest. Even when versus the Bills, it wasn't the greatest. But it's the Chiefs. And yeah. Yeah, I'm rethinking myself. I'm like, yeah, I don't think the Chiefs wide receivers are going to be that good versus the Ravens defense. Because last week made them look silly, and they want to step up and prove themselves that they're one of the best defense. So watch out for the Ravens defense to maul the Chiefs wide receivers. As for the Packers versus Cowboys, ooh, start George Pickens. Only him. I feel like he'll get a lot of the target. If you want, you can flex the other wide receiver, but it's going to be too tricky. It sounds like George Pickens and the tight end is going to be much more of the snaps compared to the other wide receivers. And that's what usually happens with a lot of teams. If you don't build chemistry with the other wide receiver, like how Chris Godwin and Mike Evans build it with Baker Mayfield, and then one of them went out last year. So it ended up being more of Auden and Godwin, or no, my bad, Auden and Evans is tricky. But this year, it looks like the fact that since Mike Evans going to be out for a couple of weeks, you know, pretty much, um, you know what I mean. Pretty much, the rookie stepping in. So Chris Godwin's in, and then on top of that, Shepard's building chemistry with Baker Mayfield. So the tight end's not really getting a lot of snaps coming his way, really. So it's all about chemistry. I think the fact that George Pickens is going to get a lot of the snaps. Not sure about the other guys, but it's tight end and wide receivers for the Cowboys. As for the Packers, I'll start them. Start them. Start the top two wide receivers on the team right now. For sure. Cowboys defense not that scary. Do that. As for the Jets, my New York Jets on Monday Night Football versus the Dolphins. Okay. Let's start with the Jets. Do not start Alan Lazard. Do not start the other guys. Only start Wilson. That's it. Start Wilson. Dolphins defense not the greatest, especially secondary. So look for Garrett Wilson to do his thing. Now, as for the Dolphins wide receivers, I know they're gonna say, "Yo, what about Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, la la la." I get it. Jets secondary has his moment. Their defensive line much better than their secondary. I'm not really trusting it a whole lot because of how the offense chemistry is doing. I would say start Jalen Waddle. Start him. It sounds like he has a better chemistry going on compared to Tyreek Hill with Tua. I feel like he's getting much better, points in your fantasy team than Tyreek Hill is. Tyreek Hill is just, I don't know what's happened to him since he left Kansas City. He's been bad. So I would say start Waddle, flex Tyreek. Wouldn't really start him. but flex them. If you have anyone better than Tyreek, do them. But I highly doubt. If you guys are in a 4-man league, 6-man league, then yeah. But you have an 8 to 12, more likely not. You might have a little bit worse of a player than Tyreek. Now, as for Bengals first, Broncos, sit Higgins easily. Select Jamar Chase. I would really start Jamar Chase. I don't trust his quarterback. But you gotta pretty much start Jamar Chase no matter what. So start him. But if anyone that's somewhat close to even better than Chase right now, start them over Chase. But flex Chase at the least, but do not sit him because he'll still get the ball. It just won't give you a lot of fantasy points versus really good Broncos defense. Woo! Now, for Broncos wide receivers, definitely start their wide receivers, Sutton, and also the other guy, wide receiver number 2, I forgot his name. He's been doing awesome for them. So definitely start them. And yeah, guys, this is the start and sit for wide receivers live. We're going to be doing this every single week. So like I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to be doing quarterbacks and running backs Thursday morning and afternoon. But just know Thursday morning we're going to go over Thursday night game. And then, and then as you know, Wednesday we always do start and sit regular videos for fantasy football. And then Friday we'll be doing wide receivers start in the morning and tight end. Wide receivers start and sit in the morning, tight end in the afternoon. And then we'll maybe flip in defense and kickers in between Thursday and Friday. We were gonna do Saturday, but I want to have a life. I want to have a life, so we're just gonna do those 2 live streams in those 2 days. And yeah, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for supporting since day 1. I think we've been doing this channel since maybe a year and a half. I know we don't have 10 million followers, but we'll get up there. Almost at 10,000. We're close to 10,000 subscribers. By the way, due to the channel, as you saw, a lot of videos are deleted on shorts. The reason why is due to copyright. I didn't get copyright, but I haven't been monetized yet. So when I get monetized, I am not going to be able to. My bad. I'm sick right now. Still stuffy. I'm not going to be able to get monetized off those videos, plus get monetized in general. So it's very, very strict. So that's why I had to delete those videos. I know, got a lot of views. It's crazy, but it's YouTube's rule. But just know going forward, doing those Whererthey Now Sports, I'm going to have my picture down here of me talking. And above it, I'll have the team that you want me to do. And we'll keep on making it going with these shorts as well as long format videos. And yeah, guys, love the support. And I'll see you guys next video. Hey, dog barking. Come over here. I don't want the dog barking. I'll see you guys later.